Steve Bannon reacting to Mike Pence. This is going to be a little bit of a little battle between the Trumpites and the theocrats. And I don't know what will come of it, but here is Marco Rubio also responding. They were all asked this weekend. Marco Rubio facing what could be
profiling courage,
a somewhat contentious reelection campaign in Florida going against Val Demings. I haven't seen any polling. I haven't heard anything about it. But this will give you an indication of who Marco Rubio thinks is going to vote for him.
Miami. Senator, we invited you to come on this show to talk about China. I want to get there, but I have to start here. Do you agree with Mike Pence?
Well, if President Trump runs for re-election, I believe he would defeat Joe Biden, and I don't want Kamala Harris to have the power as vice president to overturn that election. And that's the same thing that I concluded back in January of 2021.
So Donald Trump was wrong.
Well, as I said, I just don't think a vice president has that power, because if the vice president has that power, Donald Trump would defeat Joe Biden in 4 years or 2 years, and then Kamala Harris can decide not to overturn the election. I don't want to wind up there.
Right. So, yes. So
I mean, Matt and I were thinking the same thing, clearly. Like, they got the same memo, him and Mike Pence. Make it about Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
She's the vice president now, and she's unlikable and scary because of the whole black thing and the woman thing.
Yeah.
And so let's make it about she would have the ability to overturn the election. And obviously Biden is a puppet of someone like Kamala Harris because everyone's heard him speak, right? He's not all there. So that's what they're going with. And I think you're right that it's no coincidence that they're all coming out with the same thought and making it about Kamala Harris.
I think maybe on some level it's somebody was like, we need to put this to bed. Yeah. And he thinks that this is going to be put to bed because Pence did it. I'm not sure. I really don't get it. But they, Rubio at least had, as opposed to Barrasso, a, sort of ready-made response.
Yeah. He's in bed with little Marco, in bed with...
little tiny Marco.
Oh gosh! If we steal the election,
Mikey.
that means a black woman might be able to steal election in the future. Oh, we can't do that then.
I mean, maybe that ends up being, I don't know. Maybe that's Trump's step down too.
Well, they can tie it in with the illegal voting too, right? Like, I mean, their main concern there is black and non-white people voting. So the stealing of the election, it's a twofer if there's a black woman who's doing it as well.
All this stuff is really tough to read because you headlined the voting, mail-in voting thing, and I don't know, like, is that really, like, that's going to hurt their voters as much as Democrats, isn't it? Or is there more on that now?
Well, it's tough to know because Democrats use the mail-in voting in sort of unprecedented numbers because of COVID. In the past, Republicans have used it more, but I think they're just looking, and maybe they're wrong, but nobody really knows. And they're focusing on swing state votes. And I think there is some logic to the idea, if I'm the Republicans, that like the Democrats seem to have a system to do this and it was effective last time. So let's eliminate that because their system is effective and we can come up with something else. I don't know. But that seems to be the sort of the logic of that anyways.